Regina Spektor is a Grammy-nominated music artist known for her haunting melodies and expressing vulnerability in her lyrics. For her latest project, instead of looking forward, she's giving fans something from the past, and it's taken 22 years to officially release. Our Ika Jachi spoke with Regina Spektor about her latest album, simply titled Songs.
Beneath the stars came falling on our hearts.
You recently released the aptly named album Songs, and while it's its first formal release, it's not the first time fans have heard this music. It's been available at your live shows, only on burned CDs, if I know. So why did you choose now for the time for its formal release?
Well, actually, it's very quintessentially me to be 2 years late for a 20th anniversary reissue. It's 22 years old, and this record was really just made because my friend Joe saw that I was playing all these shows downtown constantly, and I began forgetting the songs that I was writing because I was just writing a lot of songs at the time. So he said, why don't you practice, and when nobody's working at my studio on Christmas, you could just come in and record everything that you want. And so, because we were two Jews on Christmas, we just recorded 40 songs, and I didn't really think about it again, but I didn't have a budget to make a record, so he said, why don't we just pick you know, a group of them and turn them into a CD. So for a while, I traveled with my backpack from the Bronx down to the bars that I was playing, and I would just hope somebody would buy my, home-burned CDs, and then I could, pay for dinner and travel home and buy a drink and live.
You said the album goes back, the origin rather, all the way back to 2002. So how did the album, Songs, actually come to be?
I started by playing classical music, and I started writing songs as a teenager. And really, once I started writing songs, it was all I wanted to do. I was obsessed with it. So a lot of the songs that actually ended up on the record Songs, I'd written as a teenager and in college. It's really fun to be obsessed with something that is creative because it's such a full world that you could just go into it, so, with your whole self.
You are my sweetest downfall.
It's been interesting revisiting those songs because in a way, I really still know the person who wrote them, and in another way, I've lived so much life and I'm in such a different place. But sometimes I just think, oh, why did she write so many chords and so many words? It's not easy.
When you perform these songs from 22 years ago, so on and so forth, do you sing them differently now that you've experienced so much, or do you find yourself essentially transforming yourself back to that younger version of you when you get on stage?
I think that much like probably acting, the whole thing is embodying whatever is happening in the moment at the time. So I'm not necessarily trying to do anything. I just sort of try and just feel whatever's really happening in the moment. So one of the things that I noticed when I did re-listen to the music was that I was still finding my voice when I recorded this. So I hear a lot more of the early influences of me just listening and discovering music. I really hear a lot of other people's voices kind of coming through my mouth on this record, and I definitely don't sing like that anymore. So the songs are there, and the words are there, and the chords are there, but the voice is my voice now.
Wow, very interesting. Lovely to hear. Now, to celebrate this release, you're doing a string of sold-out shows in Brooklyn. So what can fans expect from those shows?
Well, we called the shows Songs and Other Songs because it's the Songs record in full, which I have never done that with any record, just played it in full. It's going to be really interesting to sort of experiment and feel that with the fans together. I had no idea if anybody would be interested, and because they sort of got so snapped up, we decided to also do the shows of Songs and Other Songs in LA and in Chicago. And then that'll be it. and I'll close up shop.
You
With
sure?
songs and other
You
songs.
sure?
Yeah, but yeah, because I am interested in going back in time and experimenting, but I also just, I'm not a consistent person, so I need to do something and then move on.
And finally, what can we all expect from you next?
Well, I'm writing a lot of songs now. Since I am putting out a 22-year-old record for its 20th anniversary, it's not going to be done tomorrow. But I am working hard, and I hope to have new music and more tours. And just writing songs makes me happy. So more songs, more shows, more records.
And we'll be hanging tight for more of those. Regina Spektor, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Cannot wait to listen to songs.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Hopefully we don't have to wait another 22 years. Our thanks to Ike and Regina for that. You can listen to songs wherever you stream your music. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Be sure to stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us.